What difference does Jesus actually make in our lives? Well, the first thing I want to tell you about that is that Jesus is the light who takes away fears. I want to ask, have you ever been to Tantallon Castle here in East Lothian? It's very close to North Berwick. It's massive and it sits right on the edge of a cliff and the views are outstanding. The building itself is stunning. But what have I told you? That you have to go and visit it tonight, in the dark. In fact, at midnight. Well, you might want to take a torch with you or some kind of a light to show you how things really are, because it's funny, but when it's dark, all of a sudden our mind makes up scary things that aren't actually there. Well, Jesus can help us in a similar way to that light in the darkness. You see, when he comes into our life, we find many things scary, but with Jesus, they are less scary than before. Now, I'm talking about smaller things too, like the dark, things that maybe other people don't find scary at all, but actually also with really big things about maybe whether you think that you're loved or not, or whether you think people like you or not, or whether you are worried that you might get sick, or whether you wonder what will happen when you die. Jesus is a light who takes away fears. Jesus is also a light that helps us to see clearly and find our way. Now tell me, have you ever been lost? Maybe even in the dark? Oh, I have. There was one time Carol and I were traveling with a family and we were heading towards Mexico. We stopped off in Canada and we were in Toronto airport and we had a car and we'd hired this car from this place outside of the airport. But we couldn't find our way back. After we'd enjoyed our time with the car, we couldn't find the way back to the place where we'd hired the car. We could see where it was, but the network of roads, we were totally lost. It was really quite frightening. Well, thankfully, we had a sat-nav. And with that sat-nav, we were able to punch in the address off the place where we'd hired the car, and we were able to get back to our destination. Phew! Well, you see, Jesus is a bit like that too. When he comes into your life, well, he can help you to see clearly and to find your way. Now, what I mean by that, he shows us the best way to live. He shows us how God really wants us to live, and he understands how life works, and he can show us the way to heaven. Another thing that's incredible though too, not just about Jesus is the light who helps us with our fears or helps us find our way, but actually Jesus is the light who is more powerful than the darkness. You see, when Jesus came to Bethlehem, he grew up and he lived a perfect life. He never did anything wrong, ever. Because he was pure, like a bright beam of shining light. He lived that pure life. Now, you see, we don't do that. We wouldn't be like a pure beam of light. You see, we do wrong things. Maybe you've done something wrong that you're thinking about right now and you're scared of somebody even finding out about it. Well, God knows about it. And he loves you and he wants you to be with him, but there's a problem. And the problem is the wrong things that we do. So Jesus gave his life for us. He took the wrong things, our darkness, and died on a cross and came back to life and is still alive today. He is more powerful than the darkness, more powerful than our shame, more powerful than our guilt, more powerful than our mistakes. So if you ask him into your life by saying, sorry God, for the wrong things that I've done, and believe that Jesus died for you, he comes to shine light into our lives, helping us with our fears, helping to guide us, and even helping us to live the way God wants us to, changing us from the inside out. Maybe you would like to do that too. All you need to do is ask Jesus to come and be your light. Forgive your sin, believe that he died and rose again for you, and then live for him. Because Jesus is the light of the world.